This week's guest was NitehawkMX. He's a great friend of ours, a fellow mixer partner, and a huge Destiny fan. It was a blast chatting about our Shadowkeep experience so far, the new raid, and a little bit about stream life balance. I hope you guys enjoy this week's episode.
Welcome to the BxPerience. Alright, and we're live, just like that. So, you were starting to mention about the raid. I guess we'll just hop right in it.
Well, before we get into the raid, because the raid is kind of like endgame Shadowkeep.
So, no, what I was saying is because we were about to talk about the raid, let's just hop in and talk about Shadowkeep.
Yeah. So
let's go back to the beginning.
Shadowkeep, what are your thoughts on Shadowkeep?
I like it a lot. Here's what I like about it. I like the armor 2.0 is a lot of fun. Here's that's a big part of what I like about it. I like the raids fun. I didn't like how easy it was to get to max light, but that's my only complaint is I feel like I'm already there, and even though I can keep grinding higher, I felt like it was too easy to get there.
Here's the thing that I found out. I don't know if you can confirm this for me, but 950, right? Is a soft cap. 960 is the hard cap. But from what I understand, a pinnacle drop will only drop +1.
Yes.
And if you exclude I think it was actually Paul Tassi that did this, but I don't know, maybe it's someone else. If you exclude Iron Banner and whatever, if you just look at raids and nightfalls, there's not enough pinnacle drops in the season to get to 960.
Yeah, because because now it's all RNG, and then you have to hope
as to which
you're not getting duplicates.
As to which slot you get.
I think you need 80 drops to get from at least 80
That's
from
crazy.
950 to 960.
It's insane.
So
That's
story
crazy.
for me, I loved the story. I know it's a little different than they've done in the past, where it's kind of like they left us on like a really big cliffhanger. And it's going to continue throughout the season, right? It's going to be like kind of bits and pieces
throughout the seasons.
Yes,
because they said that the seasons will culminate into what happens next September,
next
release.
big release. So I like that. I know it was kind of like tough to end there because I was like, whoa. I mean, like, what does this mean?
Well, yeah, like when you at the end when your guardian's talking, spoilers. My guardian's talking to a guardian. Sorry if there's spoilers.
No,
out there,
it's so late. It's so
weird.
Spoilers
it's so weird. Yeah, it's so weird when you look at that because I'm like, are we gonna have to fight ourselves in the raid? That was the first thought.
That's what I was thinking too. Because we've talked about this a bunch of times. How it would be cool to have an encounter that was like PvP, but not.
Yeah. We're gonna be like the character is gonna be the final boss. Everybody's gonna see something different, but it's gonna be you.
Actually, I recorded a clip of that cutscene because way back in D1, my character I made him look like the Joker.
Oh, nice.
And our character hasn't talked before, really. When the face moves, you hear the voice. They brought in the voice, but before we had a voice, we literally just stood there and moved our heads. Our mouths didn't move, right? And then we come to this, and it animates our face and it talks. I'm like, oh, I look creepy as hell because it makes your mouth wider than normal because it's always closed.
Yeah, it did look weird.
It looked
weird.
Yeah.
I really I love being back on the moon.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Is dope.
Do you guys get this? I get this nostalgia where it's we played D1 for what 3 years? Is that what it was? D1 was 3 years, and so now the other day I was in the I think it was the Shrine of Oryx or something the other day, or I can't remember. I think it was the Shrine of Oryx, but it's that one mission where you had that big purple orb, and it was it was in this circular room, and then it was, I think it might have been because a lot of times there were heroic missions and stuff that. Yeah. You had that big knight that would come out at the end, and you had to kill the knight, and I was like, I know I've been here before, and it was just fun when you run around. You would remember okay, I remember this area and the mission in D1.
Yes,
it was kind of a cool nostalgic feeling,
Oh, so that exact spot that you're talking about, do you remember the Queen's Wrath? The 1 week event that never came back.
At the beginning.
The
beginning.
I never came back.
I got the purple ship, and I'm like, where the hell did I get this?
Yeah.
So that was our first piece of legendary gear was from that event.
Oh, that's so awesome.
It was a Saturday, and I remember we were living in Whitby, and we're like, okay, let's do this quick like hard mission or whatever, and then we're gonna go to the gym. 4 hours later, still in Shrine of Oryx, wiping to curse. Like I think it was like it had heroic modifiers on it, and I think it was light switch, and the thralls would one shot us, and we're under leveled, but we worked for that legendary piece. Like 4 hours.
I got a chess piece.
Yeah.
I remember. It was like the longest mission. Like back then though, we were determined.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I still am, but now I know like we're much better now than we were back then. It doesn't take as long generally.
Yeah.
But I would never spend 4 hours on a heroic mission in Destiny 2 now.
Well, we did we were trying to do the 100K Nightfall, and this last, like before, when I was like I think 930s, and it was so
Did you finish it?
tough. I didn't. Well, we finished the 950 Nightfall at like 930, but we didn't get the 100K.
Yeah.
We were like we still want to finish it, which didn't get any really great rewards, which was nuts because I'm like whoever would think you'd do a Nightfall and you wouldn't get any rewards from it, like at least one thing.
Yeah.
It was nuts, but I was like, it was funny because we were doing before that in the week we were doing the nightmares, and we were on our way to Fogoth, and I was like, here's the room where you hid, you know, like you stayed here because when your buddies died, they would leave and come back, you know, because or here's where you would sit back with snipers.
Oh yeah, because you couldn't. There were no respawns.
No, there
was no respawns.
So they would just hide. You would just hide, and then the person would leave the fire team and then come back. We kind of half did that, because it locks your gear, right?
Yeah.
And we were in the room with the witch, wizard, and you can probably hear the dog whining outside the door. And we only had Edgewise. Basit had Edgewise, and that was the only way to break the wizard shields.
Okay.
And he ran out of heavy ammo.
I was running
after
Recluse.
We respawned, so we were screwed. Like you have to kill 2 wizards to spawn the thing,
and it's match game,
Arcburn,
and we don't have
match game.
We don't have any solar.
Yeah.
Like at all.
Yeah.
So they just like left and came back to like change the loadout a bit, just to like figure out what we needed.
We finished it. That was the legend, right? 950.
That was the legend, the 950. Yeah.
We haven't done the hardest one, the master one yet.
The 980, I haven't even attempted it.
I
think I'm at like 963 right now, but I haven't even decided.
Yeah, I just hit 960 after the Iron Banner stuff.
So I watched Cammy do that. That's what I was talking about. And they had Divinity. They had the Unstoppable Handcant. Like he was calling out his staggers, and then when they were going to use barrier rounds or not use barrier rounds, like it was hella coordinated. I was like, this is the end game content that we wanted.
Yes.
You know? Like this is the end game PvE content people wanted to be able to do week to week, and an actual challenge. And the way they did it, how like as you go up in level,
you get better gear.
You get better chances. You get better chances at an exotic.
Yes.
Is the main thing.
Well, I think you also get like enhancement cores and stuff.
Yeah, there's different enhancement prisms or whatever.
Yeah,
I still don't know where we get Ascendant Shards from.
You get them from the season pass. I know that, and then you can buy them from the gunsmith.
Yeah, well, so it's like a crazy turn-in though. Like
they're hefty.
They're
like a lot of upgrade modules.
Is that to get to 10?
Yeah.
So
Masterwork to 10?
That's the Masterwork gear armor. Yeah, so it's 10 enhancement prisms, 100 of whatever material he requires, and then 50,000 glimmer. So they're still pretty pricey, but those enhancement prisms, those are 10 enhancement cores a pop. I mean, those, and I think that's the currency that I find even when I do the bounties for the gunsmith, all that stuff, I find that is still very hard. Like you don't get many of them.
No, I felt a little better about myself when I saw a clip on Twitter of Ninja with no L, like masterworking his god roll mind benders, and he only had like 6 enhancement cores left. I was like, oh, I'm not the only one. I'm like literally always at the bottom of the barrel, just hitting 0 constantly. But I infuse things a lot more.
Yeah.
Or masterwork things.
I've been trying not to masterwork things that I don't need to masterwork. Yeah. I've always been that way though.
Yeah.
So.
Before we get off of the story, I did want to mention that I was kind of hoping that in the raid they were gonna have a cutscene or two, just like a little bit of a story,
bit of something.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I thought
really wasn't much.
Yeah. Because they kind of teased that it was gonna be the continuation of the story was the raid, because it was like the next thing to do, but
How do you feel about the way like the season's pass works?
I mean, what am I at right now? Let's see. I am at level 90, almost 95.
Holy,
so I'm almost maxed
I'm at
out.
like 70 something.
I've been grinding though. Like
For
that's
real.
the thing. I've been grinding like a ton. And so like the one thing I do like about it is like it gives you a reason to do like bounties and stuff. So
yes.
you know, grab bounties for Vex Offensive. You can grab bounties pretty much for anything. I mean, I run on a Glimmer more often than anything because I'm always buying bounties and doing them. But once I hit level 100, what's
then what?
You know, like what do I do?
I feel. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No.
I feel
like I mean, I like it. I like it, but yeah.
I feel like it's fast enough that it makes me want to keep grinding. But like you said, we are 2 weeks in, and I'm already almost at 80. And then when we get to 100, what then? But I guess the way to look at it is like we didn't have it before.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just gonna be like old Destiny.
It's the first iteration, right? I think the one good suggestion that I saw is a way to like reset your pass.
Oh. Okay.
So like if you get to level 100, like a prestige, basically.
Yeah.
And then
that would be
you
cool.
could drop off some of the stuff that's like one time, like you don't need Ariana's again.
Yeah.
Or you could. It's whatever. It's just another.
Maybe you pay silver for like a refresh or something.
Yeah, like a refresh, and then you can get the materials out of it. Because like those boxes have a lot of materials in it. It's like 50 of every single thing you ever would want.
They're so nice. And you get, I think once you get to 80, you start getting those. I think you get 3 Ascendant Shards between level 80 and the end. So like that's helpful. So I'm gonna save those like from, you know, like when I really want to use them.
For sure.
Yeah. I haven't actually picked up. There's 2 exotics that I haven't picked up in my pass.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure they're legacy engrams.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at them, I think they'll tell you exactly what.
Yeah, maybe I hadn't even thought about that.
You can inspect them and see what you can get.
But I picked one up on my hunter, and I got a colony. Or something. And my Titan is actually missing Peregrine Greaves, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get it out of one of them if I switch to my Titan.
Not gonna lie, every time I hear colony fired off, like 9 times out of 10, I'm like, thanks for wasting your heavy, buddy. Just take off. Like,
they literally just like when you use colony,
so like you just run away from the walls and make sure you're not near a wall.
And so when people use colony, they spam.
Spam the whole thing.
The whole thing at one person. Just hope one of them kills
one
them.
One of them's gonna get them.
I think
I gotta get that mountaintop. I gotta get that mountaintop.
I mean, not that I've ever really seen colony used like nicely, but I feel like the move with colony is to slowly fire. It's to like dunk, 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 and just have them staggered. Now I have ideas. Now I want to try it. Catch me using colony. I was using Sweet Business the other day, NiteHawk.
Oh, I've heard people use
with Actium War Rigs on my Titan.
Oh my gosh! Okay, so Kai joined us today for Iron Banner, and he just masterworked, finished the Catalyst for Sweet Business today, nice. And he was playing on our team. And he went off and had like a 8.0 game with Sweet Business. It was disgusting.
It's silly. It's even crazy on PC where you can literally just like snap your just keep firing. Have
you had a chance to try out? Well, I guess PvP in general, but like specifically the new comp playlist.
Yeah, so I did actually did a couple matches last night. Actually, crushed some kids, but I'm sure at some point my luck's gonna start running out. But I got a god roll on the. You guys have done the raid, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I got a god roll on the pulse rifle from the raid.
That's one I don't have yet.
It's got a head seeker, rapid hit, ricochet rounds, fluted barrel, and then handling, and it 2 taps. To the head. And, oh man, it's so much fun. I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I actually used that last night in comp, and I was just taking out entire teams. It was great.
Survival's been nice.
It has been nice.
Survival has been is one of my favorite game modes that was in the old comp playlist. I definitely would prefer to play Survival over Countdown or Control.
Oh,
yes.
Clash would have been okay, but
I like Clash because you are constantly doing stuff. You're constantly rotating. It's constant flow.
Yes.
But the round reset of Survival is very nice because it allows you to be like, okay,
you can break momentum.
New round.
Yeah.
Brand new round. We can totally change it. And when we were playing with Hakai last night. We had, I think, 4 comebacks from 3-1.
Wow.
So like we won 3 in a row after being down, and they had supers on us too. Like it was.
I've also heard really good things about the solo playlist. I feel like that was a massive introduction.
That was definitely a need. Like we needed that.
100%. And even looking at other like FPS games that I played before I got into Destiny, one of my favorite playlists that I used to play was Mercenary Mosh Pit and COD, and it was a solo, like basically a solo classic mix. So only single players, and it had all the different like team modes in COD, and I used to just log in that like jump in that and play for hours. It's so nice when you don't play against teams when you're a solo player.
Well, like I think people sometimes underestimate how important it is, because if you think of, I was just trying to think of an analogy, and like military aspect would be one, but even like with games like say basketball or paintball or something. With basketball, even you go to play basketball versus a team that's talking and your entire team has their mouths taped shut, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. You know what I mean? There's no doubt about it. Like they're gonna whoop you so bad. So like playing solo versus stacked is just never gonna be a fair fight.
So even, I mean, like I played a few games in the solo playlist just to try it out. My experience wasn't that great. I had 3 games where I think I was at the top for all 3. And my blueberries were not very good, and we lost all 3. Even though I did very, very well. And that was kind of rough because I still lost points. Where I thought in the solo playlist, even if you lost, sometimes you were winning points, like getting more points, even if you lost based on your performance.
It feels like individually scored?
I'm 99% sure it isn't individually scored. I'm pretty sure from what people were telling me, because people were saying, oh, I've lost games, but I was still gaining glory. But I feel like maybe that's at the start, because this system seems to want to catch you up as quick as possible to where it thinks you should be.
Yeah,
so,
okay. That makes sense.
Like we were getting lots of points at the beginning, and now it's kind of evened out a little bit.
That's what they mentioned, as well as like how it was going to work. They were like, it's gonna basically assume you're at a certain level and then propel you there quickly and then slow down. And what we saw was like up to 3,500 points, we were getting like a single win with no streak was giving like us like 150 points.
Yeah. And
then on a 2 streak, we're getting like 300 points, 350. Like it was just zooming. And then and as soon as we hit like 3 3/4, like just under 4, it slowed right down. And
which makes sense because
that's where we were last season.
The last 2 seasons we've been just over 4K by the end of the season. Yeah. I mean, I think this season we're actually the highest we've ever been. At about we're sitting just under 45 right now.
We'll get not forgotten by like next week or the week after.
That's awesome.
I think 4 or 5 more play sessions, or like a couple good long ones.
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends how good the games go, right? Because like last night we got like 400 points in like 5 games.
Well,
I don't know. It's so random.
It's so random now. Like, was it Justice? His first game on in the solo playlist, he faced 3 5500s.
At 0 rank.
Is it supposed to be like? Is it connection based now, or is it?
Nobody knows.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if anybody knows.
We get like last week. I think on the Thursday they tweeted that they're tuning the matchmaking to deal with mismatched skill, and we played after that, and our second game was against 3 5500s at like 3-9 or something, and then the game after that was against like 2100s.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So and like last night, I was looking at a couple games back to back, and it was like first we played a 5300, a 5300, a 5200, and then we played a 800, a 2800, and a 3K. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. It's just all over the place. But which is kind of nice though, because in between you like beating the teams that are a little lower than you or having close games, you'll face people that are way higher than you, and then you can kind of test the waters as like how do you deal against those people when you get there. And I think we're getting better with that. So
Yeah. That's awesome. What do you guys think about the new pinnacle weapon? Have you guys gotten it yet?
We're working on it. I think, I don't know for sure, but most of the time when you play Iron Banner and you're working on the pinnacles, it counts for double. I know with Revoker, all the sniper kills counted as 2 in Iron Banner last season, and I was going up in percentage pretty quickly using a scout rifle until I went through the quest and it told me to use all these other weapons. But
Iron Banner might be a good
Iron
spot
Banner,
to
I think,
finish
is
it
a good spot to finish it off. I think I'm at about just over 30% in scout rifle kills, and I got to about 60% in medals today.
Yeah, I'm about right there.
All I need is about 50, just under 50 double kills, and I have it.
Okay. All right.
As far as like what I think about it, I know the recoil is really nice on it. It's a 260, and I've been using a 260 to get scout rifle kills, so that's roughly what it's gonna feel like. And given that and the roll that I got, which has rangefinder on it on the Black Scorpion, with increases the range, I'm assuming the range is gonna be similar. So rapid hit is gonna, like, from what I've seen, just turns into a laser.
Yeah.
And then it has kill clip. So when I was running on my Titan, I was proccing frontal assault, and I'm doing 63 to the head with a scout rifle that fires at 260, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what have you been using as your scout rifle?
Jade Rabbit.
Jade Rabbit.
That's just very good. Jade Rabbit's very good.
Like, I almost had the catalyst
Yep.
finished too, and that right there looks like it makes it really even more stable because it feels fairly stable.
The only thing that's really giving me trouble with the Black Scorpion is the Jade Rabbit. So.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Have you gotten any of the other ritual weapons?
I haven't yet. Well, actually, no. Did I? Okay, let me see where I'm at. So I'm really close to getting the submachine gun, which I heard is awful. Really bad.
I heard it's just a worse recluse.
What are the perks on it?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't even say, but I've heard it's not very good. That's what I hear. But I haven't gotten the Edgewise. You guys have gotten that, right? Have you gotten that yet?
No, I have not gotten.
I watched a video on it though, so I kind of know what it's like.
I've been working slowly a little bit on all of them. I can't really play like a lot of strikes or a lot of gambit in a row. So I kind of just hop on and I do like a couple strikes, and then I'm like, okay, that's it for today, and then I hop on and do a little bit of gambit. I think Dredgen really killed gambit for me. Yeah.
You want to hear a funny Dredgen story? So this last season, I was like, I gotta get my 3 resets in a single season. You guys might have been in chat when I did this, and somebody was like, no, it's just 3 resets, like complete. Like you just have to have 3 resets over the course of time. I've had Dredgen for like.
You didn't realize?
I didn't realize it. So I'm like, I gotta get 3 resets, and I never. Yeah, so I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
That's funny.
Like,
So when I got Dredgen, it was 3 in one season, and then I think they changed it.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. You had to get 3 in one season to get the ghost, and I'm like, "Well, shoot!" And this last, like the very last week, I was like, "I gotta go for it." I keep putting it off because I hate playing Gambit because I just feel like you level up so slowly.
You could have just ended the sentence before you said because. I just hate playing Gambit.
I'm not a big. I mean, like Dredgen was the first title I got. I think I just got it because it was one that I like knew I could obtain. Right? Like I feel like a lot of people go for it because there's not really any RG involved. Like you pretty much just play and you get it. Which is actually how I feel with Undying. I'm like halfway through Undying right now for the Vex Offensive one. And that will probably. As soon as the Undying Mind thing comes through, I'll pretty much have that. And the pinnacles, all the collections for the collection badge for Undying has all the pinnacles in it.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
But yeah, no Gambit. I don't know Gambit.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is, man. Gambit. I just don't like it very much.
I like playing Prime if I can get like a full squad. Team? And like I love invading. That's my thing. I gotta be able to invade. If I don't invade, I'm like, oh my god. Like I can imagine you guys are like, can I invade now? No, it's my turn. Like,
well, I always let Pete invade.
Babe always lets me invade because I can't handle Gambit unless I can invade.
But
like I need some PvP. All right.
When I play during the day, though, because for that the seasonal, I guess, like bounties and emblems and stuff, the quest, you had to kill a bunch of guardians.
Yeah.
So I just invaded, and like I was having so much more fun playing Gambit on my Hunter with Blade Barrage and Shards and invading than I've had playing Gambit in literally the last year. Because I usually play on my Warlock. And like Shards in Gambit is ridiculous. We're just playing normal Gambit and you get to that last round after you tied.
Yeah.
And I literally get 10 Blade Barrages.
Yeah.
Like I Blade Barrage and I get it back and I Blade Barrage. And we had three blades on our team. It was ridiculous.
Oh, because it counts with not necessarily kills, it's hits. So as long as you can hit all your knives, you're getting a huge chunk back.
It was silly.
And here's the crazy thing, like that. Are you talking about like when Gambit first came out, or like?
No, I mean like this was like last week.
It was like I think they nerfed that too because it used to be
They
like
did.
They did.
I remember when first came out, it was like you could literally Blade Barrage and you have your super back on.
Oh yeah.
You're like
this
is
just run around Blade Barrage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But no, like the only thing I guess there's two things I like about Gambit, and that's it. One is invading, getting a team wipe. It's like the coolest feeling.
Oh yeah.
Like the other day, I invaded, I hit a snipe, and I heard the guy creeping up behind me, and I just turned and I reclused him, and then I sniped the other two. I was like, yes, that's what
what's your
feels
go-to
good.
sniper?
I was actually, I don't know, I just like had stuff on my character, and my highest light was a Tranquility with like PvE perks, but Tranquility is a nice sniper. It's sticky, but right now, talking about snipers. Babe actually used hers before I got to use mine, but we both got an Omniscient Eye from the raid, the new raid.
Oh, is that a sniper?
Oh my gosh, man!
I have that one.
Fantastic! Literally my favorite sniper in the game now. It's an energy slot 140, so it's a fast firing, like Alone as a God.
So that's.
Babe was using it. She's like, "Oh, it's so snappy," and like I don't even have a snapshot on it, and I don't even know what perks you have. Like weird perks.
It's
on
no distraction rampage.
Yeah, no distraction rampage.
Yeah.
Which rampage doesn't do anything. No distractions is okay, but you should be shooting before they hit you, anyways.
Yeah.
And I got a snapshot, no distractions. Holy cow! I think it's fantastic.
When Menagerie first came out, I was farmed a ton of Beloveds, and I ended up with a quick draw snapshot one. Oh my goodness. It's beautiful, but it's like I don't really know how it compares to this raid one, because this raid one is crazy. And then I also got a curated Silicon Neuroma from the Nightfall. Not this past week, but the week before.
From what is that one? It's the
Pyramidion.
Pyramidion.
Yeah, and like it's really good too.
Very good.
It has a snapshot,
something else that doesn't matter.
Something accurized or something.
I think it only has one perk. I think it's just snapshot.
Yeah, I don't know, but it feels great too.
Yeah, because it's a tier 1.
I don't really consider myself a sniper. Like I'm more of a warrior, like shotgun warrior. But I don't know, like some of these snipers, you throw them on and it's just crazy.
Yeah. So
I've always liked Revoker. That's always been my favorite.
Revoker's nice.
Revoker's nice. It does handle like a log though, like in comparison to other snipers, and it's not necessarily the ADS speed because it has snapshot. It's nice, but it's more the hip fire movement and like when you're ADS'd, how quickly you can swipe it. It's slow.
Yeah.
And that because it's a 72, like it's a high impact, and Beloved's a 90.
Yeah.
And while your quick draw snapshot Beloved is nice, it's not as snappy as the 140s, which is the rapid fire.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Twilight Oath and Alone as a God, those are the only two snipers you ever see anyone getting a 7th column with a sniper. Because
that makes sense. Yeah.
Right? It's fast firing, and the biggest advantage, you can double body very quickly because they buffed them.
Yep.
It does like 105 or something, so you can 2-tap to the body in a pinch if you really need to, faster than any sniper in the game because it's fast firing. And really, if you think about it, 140, that's like 2 shots of a hand cannon, which is really nice that they put in the RPM values because you can really compare things really well. Like 150 scouts have the same time to kill as 150 hand cannons, just at further ranges.
Yeah, no, that makes
right.
Makes sense.
So like a 140 hand cannon, which you're looking at like an ace or something. Imagine 2 shots of an ace.
Yeah.
Same thing as a double body with a 140 sniper. So that's really handy with it. And because it's so light and quick to like pull out, I was using it on my hunter with Dragon Shadow, and I think that's going to be my go-to exotic. I mean, it is my go-to exotic for sniping right now. You just dodge, and then you have like 10 seconds of swap.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's a lot of fun. Yeah, I did get a roll on that, the Omnis, and I got Snapshot, Genesis, Accurized rounds, and then Corkscrew rifling. I haven't used it much, so now with your recommendation, I'm gonna try it out.
I think you'll like it.
It's very sticky. That's the other thing that they did, like they kept the same like inverted relationship that they did from D1, where the higher the fire rate, I guess it's not inverted. The higher the fire rate, the higher the aim assist, and then the lower the fire rate, the lower the aim assist. So like Aphrodite's Spear in D1, stupid funnel round sniper, had like very, very low aim assist.
Dude, oh man. Trials, Burning Shrine with
Widow's Court, man.
Widow's
I
Court.
always remember there's a
that
match.
Was nasty.
There's a match on Widow's Court. We were losing 4-1, and every single round against these guys, you'd spawn in and you hear, "Tum, tum."
Yeah. You're so
like, oh,
they'd
God,
be emptying their
go.
snipers for final round, and then they'd like shoot us in the foot or something. Like,
oh yeah.
But we came back on them. We came back on them from 4-1 deficit.
I remember that. So the raid, and if you guys are listening and you don't want any spoilers about the raid, you haven't had a chance yet, fast forward a little bit.
Yeah, I guess the raid is the freshest out of.
Yeah.
Well, if there was anything that people still wanted to keep spoiler free from, it'd probably be the raid.
Yeah, tune out now.
So you guys jumped in for a world's first run, right?
Well, it was supposed to be day one.
Day one run, yes.
It was more like, what the hell am I doing?
I don't feel bad because I feel like that was most people.
It was. I mean, it was. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like so I ended up getting sick because I put so many hours. Like, and I don't know. Maybe next time if we do go for it, I'll think about like how my grind's gonna be a little bit different because like I was like, oh, gotta get like I was going into the raid at like 9:40. Like I was at 9:40.
Which you didn't. You were 20 over what you needed to be.
You were technically 9:16 because what a 9:20 cap, but that delta drops you down a delta, so you're 9:16, and it was just like, and it was. I mean, granted, I think with a really, really, really coordinated team, I had a good team. It was fun, but I think if I was ever going to try it again, I want to do it like with some people that like are really serious about it, coordinated, kind of type thing.
So
and. Yeah, that would be fun. Maybe
that's pretty much like that's pretty much exactly what was like our experience. Like we put a team together, and like we had a good team. We had a lot of fun, and
but it was last minute.
It was pretty last minute.
It was like a week before or something.
And we had a lot of people that didn't really raid much, including Pete and I. Although I will say, like, we don't raid much, but we can stay alive. And we pick up mechanics really quickly. So, but yeah, it was rough. We got stuck on that first encounter. We spent like 4 or 5 hours on that first encounter. And then we were like, you know what, guys, like if it's taking us this long to get through this, we're
going to be here all night.
Even if we get through the next one, then what? Like, I mean, people had pretty much already beaten the raid.
They beat it within like an hour and a half of us stopping.
Yeah. So we were like, we had some plans that we hadn't decided whether we were gonna go hang out with friends or not that evening, and we were like, you know what, guys, like it's not worth it. Everybody's stressing out. Like, let's just call it here. And after the contest modifiers are gone, we'll come back in, and we'll just
destroy it.
Yeah, and I mean we did, not necessarily with the same team. We had some of the same people.
We swapped like through our 3 or 4 goes until we got to the end. We were like, people were dipping in and out of the fire team, like, because we tried it with different people, and it was just different times. It was whatever lined up.
Yeah, whatever worked.
Whatever worked. But
much easier without contests. It's similar to how you said you said you got sick from the grind. I feel like so many people put so much time into that first week to try to get ready or whatever. And and I feel like a lot of people came out of it and were like, man, I don't think that was worth it. Like, I grinded so hard.
Yeah,
it wasn't worth it.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
So I don't know if
at that point you almost just made content like less interesting for yourself by overdoing it for a
like kind of
purpose that didn't
speeding through
matter.
content.
Yeah, you're like
Yes.
speeding through it when you really didn't need to.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think next year or next raid, I don't think we're gonna.
Yeah, I honestly don't know if I'll do a day one. Like, I'll probably just. It kind of might be nice to sit back and like watch.
That's what we were thinking. That's exactly
I
what we were
enjoy
thinking.
doing
That's
that.
it's
Like,
exactly what we were thinking. And like honestly, like Spazzy Prof tweeted the day of, and I was thinking, and she made me think about it. I was like, you know what? That sounds like a lot of fun. She's like, we don't like participate in these anymore, but it's kind of like the Super Bowl for us, and we just like make snacks and sit on the couch and watch the raid teams go at it. And I think that'd be hella fun. And then adding on to that, so we were talking with Teach about this.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, it'd be cool if we could like get a space, even like the Hive in Toronto.
Yep.
And just have it on the screens
like,
and
rent
just
a
like
space.
hang out with people and
that's
like an event almost. That sounds so much better, honestly.
Yeah.
And then go in when contest modifiers are off. Just go in, and we can still like, you know, just go in and whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really care. Like going in blind is fun. I like figuring mechanics out. And I do think if we had gotten to the next section, I think we would have figured it out. Was the next section was like confluxes.
Yeah, it was the maze.
I think the third encounter would have been a little rough. With the eyes, figuring out the eyes and stuff, I think would have taken us a little bit. But I like how every encounter kind of adds another layer until you get to the boss.
Yeah, it's got that Crown of Sorrows feel where it's like every encounter, by the time you get to the final boss, you pretty much
know what all the
know
things
everything.
do.
Yeah,
that's nice. Like I like how they add that, you know.
Yeah.
Every
I also like how
encounter.
they nail it with kind of not insinuating, implying what kind of split you should use.
Yeah.
Because say the first part, for example, you figure out how to open the door, and then there's obviously stuff you have to take care of back here, but there's no other obvious thing to do. We'll split it in half, 3-3, right? You get to the maze, and there's the main part. You can't go straight, but there's left and right, 2-2-2. Split it off that way and see what happens, you know? And then even with so I think we could have maybe figured out the boss part, because we probably would have split 3-3 again. Yeah. Because there would be the relay and then the boss. So there's like two things to do. You split the team.
Oh yeah, and the crit spots on the boss too. I mean, they're pretty obvious on the leg and the leg and the shoulder. We would have shot at
the final boss.
To open the portals.
Yeah, we would have shot at that to see what that was.
Yeah, those were pretty obvious.
For sure.
Well, we would have been like, wait, can we do damage? And then you shoot at it, and then it breaks.
Yeah, and then
like, oh, what is this? Yeah, and actually, if you look at the, I realized this when we were doing it. It actually like falls out of his leg. Oh. The portal is inside his leg, and then you shoot it as like, oh. And he like
when it like falls out,
it like falls out of his leg. And, like,
I hadn't noticed that. I definitely think it's one of my favorite raids, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I enjoy it. I feel like now it's at the point where you can even bring like new people into the raid, and like we had a 916 finish with us the other night. Like
nice
with enough people, just enough to care, you know, like
just enough, yeah.
Yeah, I mean. Hardest part for him is staying alive, you know, like we can make up the DPS, but you got to be able to stay alive, and it was fun. Like I enjoyed it. It was honestly like it's a fun raid. Like we're probably gonna do it 3 times this week. Like,
yeah. We have a run set up for Thursday. We don't raid very often. We like if we raid once a week, that's a lot for us. But we're also focused on like PvP and other stuff too.
Yeah,
we're gonna start doing some.
You're working on.
We're gonna start our comp help with stuff up again this week,
nice.
Which is pretty exciting. I'm excited to try it out because we're trying a totally different system. So instead of doing like guaranteed runs to 2100, we're gonna do like raffles for you to jump in and play like 3 to 5 games.
And then swap out
that's awesome.
with another raffle.
And then do another raffle. So it doesn't matter where you are in the comp playlist. It's just kind of giving you like teammates for a little bit. So if people are like close to 55 and they just need that little push or whatever, like hopefully we can just help people get better.
Yeah.
That's kind of the whole thought.
And then we have we're trying out a Crucible Clinic thing where you can sign up to like play 3v3 with us, play comp with us, and over the games that we play, I set up a forum so that people can pick things that they want to work on or things that they need help with that they think they do, and give them a little more personal attention for improvement. So we'll see how that goes.
Nice, man. That's really cool to see you guys doing stuff like that. Like I always said to myself, like when I first came to Mixer, I was like, you know, that's what I did all the time. I was a raid Sherpa, so I did raids, and eventually I just got like so over it. I'm like, I'm never going back to that. I hate the service stream, but if you're having fun while you do it, like that's what matters.
I think
if it becomes bothersome and you're stressed out and you're just not having fun, that's when you gotta kind of step back. But it's easy to just see you guys are having a blast.
We talked about raid help actually. We talked about it this past week because people were asking, because we streamed like the raid, and people were like, oh, like, are you going to be doing help with this? And no. Yeah. And it's you know what, like, honestly, props to people that do. Like, I'm really glad that there are people that do that kind of stuff. But all of our experiences, not all of them, but we found overall that it just takes so much attention and time to teach people the different encounters. And raids are so immersive themselves that you have to really be like paying attention to like 50 different things. Like think about that boss fight, right? And how many different elements are in play and different things are going on and call outs and stuff, that it just makes it hard for us to interact with our community and be like funny and provide like any sort of like
if you're running a raid with your friends, it's a little easier because you just have the base callouts. That's all you need, and then apart from that, you can just shoot the shit while you're killing things.
It's like muscle memory. You know? You just know what to do.
Depending on if they're your friends or people that you play with often, then I mean that dialogue gets interesting and entertaining too, right? Between friends and banter and whatnot. So that we might stream the raid with like set teams that we determined beforehand, but it's just something that I found doesn't mix with us. Comp help and PvP stuff it's a lot easier to kind of shoot the shit with chat, I guess.
And I guess like because I was also just about to say like I don't enjoy explaining the same thing every single time, but then I was like, you know what, when we play comp and like we help people, it is kind of the same thing. It's kind of the same thing every time, but the difference I guess is like we enjoy that more. So I think it's just the enjoyment factor, really.
Who are you up against? You could be up against the world's worst players, against a decent team. So in all reality, I mean, you're explaining it, but you're also doing it's going to be different every time. Everybody's going to play different.
I'm gonna take a spin here on what we were just talking about, because you were talking about service stream. And how do you think? Because like when back in Destiny 1, there were a lot of people that I essentially ran service streams. And that was something that we always told ourselves we were like, I don't want to be like that. Like I don't want to just run this and feel like we're trapped in doing that. But we loved trials and we did trials help, and we did other stuff too. But our focus was definitely trials help for a long time. And I know coming out of Destiny 1, there was a lot of people that kind of suffered because that was their jam and they didn't have anything else. And I mean, thankfully, we loved a lot of other aspects of things, and we just loved streaming, so we just kept going and doing our thing. But
you found something different. Like you found other aspects.
How do you find that you mix your content up? Like what is your kind of like, I guess, formula for like what you do?
So like I said, when I got here to Mixer, that's what I did. I did like we were doing Leviathan, Eater Worlds, Fire Stars. That's what we did. We'd all help, and then Forsaken came out, and it was like, man, I can't wait. Like this raid's gonna be blast. Like that's what I'm gonna base my channel off of. It's gonna be like raid help. And then it was weird. It was the weirdest thing. It was like nobody wanted to raid anymore. It was weird. Nobody wanted to raid it, and I still find that true. Like I put together LFG channel, for instance, for PC stuff, and invited people and said, hey, like if you guys want to raid, this is a great example, like a great place to find people to raid, and we'll put stuff in there, and it's like crickets. Like nobody either has time or like they just don't want to.
It's a big time commitment.
Yeah, it is. It's a big time commitment, but I feel like right now trying to do like a service stream like that, just doing raids all the time, I think would be a really big struggle on Mixer, because I don't think there's a demand for it. So it's like, okay, what do I do in between? So I'll raid with my friends, or if people in chat want to join, you haven't run the raid, sure, we'll help you. But it's not like, hey, we're doing raids all day, every day.
Yeah, it's not. I think you know what? Honestly, I feel like that's a better approach. Because you're still helping people, but it's not like, this is what I do, this defines me, this is like, you know, which I think can be dangerous. And you mix it up sometimes and play like Sea of Thieves and different stuff too, right?
Oh yeah. Borderlands 3 was fun.
Minecraft, I think I saw Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft. That was just dumb fun. It was good. It was just good. Like literally, I mean, it was like $8 a month to have and I still have active. It's like a server. And people are like, can I play? And I'm like, sure. And it's like, you got to be a member, you know, like somebody that we know, right?
Yeah.
Because we're not just going to invite anybody. But it was fun, man. It was just dumb fun.
That's good. Awesome. That's awesome.
And it was a lot of fun. So,
it's interesting that you say that people like stopped wanting to raid, and I almost feel like I've seen an increase in the popularity of PvP. Like people like. There's still people who are like, oh, I hate PvP, I don't do that, whatever. But I've seen people that really didn't do it much at all are like kind of toeing in there, and people are starting to like get into the comp playlist and like try it out. And that actually leads me into what we enjoyed about Comp Help so much, that we're trying out this clinic thing, is I've always enjoyed watching the community get better alongside us. Mm-hmm. It's not always about like how good can we get, which is something I'm always trying to do, is try and get better and be a better player. But to see other people who just watch other people improve and be proud of it is, I don't know, that's and really cool.
And to see them enjoying it, because there were a lot of people that came into the stream and they said, oh, I'm so done with comp, like I can't, I just can't get anywhere. Like I just keep getting stomped. My teammates are bad.
Or just
whatever.
Play with us,
right? And then we'd say, okay, well, like we do this thing, right, and whatever, and we'd play with them, and they'd have a blast. And then like the next week, they'd come in and be like, so I was playing the comp playlist and like by themselves, you know, and like that's really cool to see, because it's like a change in mentality from, oh, this thing is bad, I suck, I'm not good at it, like it's not for me, to, hey, you know what, like sometimes all you need is a little push to realize that it's not really that bad, and like you're not as bad as you think you are, and there's always room to improve, and like, you know, just have some fun.
Well, I think there's like, I don't know whether this is a product of literally no game ever having a perfect matchmaking system. Nothing's really perfect, always has its ups and downs. But I think a lot of people who are trying to dip their toes in something, if you overwhelm them right away, they're going to just step back out of the water. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's that like you need to give them an inch and let them see, oh, wait, this was hard, but I tried and I got better and I saw an improvement. That means I can keep going. Like, let's see how good I can get. That growth mentality can start. Whereas if you like get thrown in and you get stopped, like sometimes when if we're playing against someone who obviously is like a new account and they like can't, and I've heard stories about people playing against new light players who can't even move their character. And then you're just getting like, you can't even move from spawn. You just spawn up and you're dead. You spawn up and you're dead. Like that's no fun.
No
one's gonna want to
again.
play that. Yeah, you know.
They're like, nah, I'm good. No, so yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I've you know, like, so there was one thing that we used to do. You guys know ZG Photo, so like a good friend of mine. So that's what he did. He was always a raid Sherpa, and then he would do trials help and stuff like that on the weekends when D1 was around. And when D2 came out, we all know the disaster that was. And so it was like nobody wanted to raid, and he just didn't enjoy it. And so it was like, it kind of sucked, because at that point it was like that's what his channel, and he'll tell you, he's like, that's what my channel was based on. So it's like when I stopped doing that, it's like you kind of figured out quickly like which people were there to like help support you because they loved you and your content and your community, and which ones that just wanted something. And so I think ever since then it's kind of opened my eyes to a little bit of like, I want to keep a variety there.
100%.
For what we're doing.
100%. And I think that's kind of where I was going with my question and asking how you like kind of mix it up and keep things going, because I think it's very important to look at things, like look at the long road versus like the short road. Like it's very easy to see, I guess, faster growth or whatever, even if it's not necessarily real growth, because you're like offering to help all these people, whatever. But how many of those people actually come back? How many of those people, like, whatever? And we were very lucky where, like, a lot of people that came by for comp help come by almost every day. Not all of them, but there's a good portion that have become regulars in stream and a real part of the community, which is great. But I think it's important that we do things that aren't comp help as well. And and even different games outside of Destiny. Like, I feel like that's very important too.
Well, actually, speaking of that, leading up to the end of the season, right before Shadowkeep, we were doing comp help hard and heavy. It was like every damn stream all week for like 3 weeks. And it got to the point, like, there was one day we hopped on and we were like, yeah, let's do comp help, whatever. I hopped on to like one of the fresh accounts with like blue weapons. I'm like,
this isn't even fun anymore.
I have to use this stupid Saturmina and this Ballyhoo again, or this Fuss Dark again. Like, this is, I'm not having fun. And then I think that's when we hopped into Borderlands, because Borderlands came through.
Yeah, we were just like, guys, we're not doing it today.
Yeah, we're not doing it.
Switched what we were doing.
Switched what we were doing, and we didn't touch Destiny or comp for like almost a week.
Yeah.
And then when we came back, we're like, oh yeah, let's do some more comp help. It was fun again.
Yeah.
It was a blast. So like,
kinda
sometimes you need to
a little bit.
Yeah. Sometimes you get on that train of like doing it too much.
Yeah.
And then when it's
everything is a balance, right? And I think that a balance in life in general is one of the hardest things to achieve. Like balance with, what you eat and your friends and family and time and stream. Like stream balance is extremely difficult to achieve. You see people changing their schedules all the time. We've changed our schedule I don't know how many times. And taken when we streamed on Twitch, we took probably 3 extended breaks.
Major breaks.
But
you say extended breaks, and it was like usually like there was a couple that I would still say extended that were maybe like 2 weeks. But that was like.
But it's long enough.
That's long.
The thing
that's
is,
a
like,
long time. 2 weeks is a long time.
It's long enough to see not a complete restart, but
they're like solid
decline
50% drops.
In numbers of lots of things everywhere, which is scary. That's one of the scary things about doing this, I guess.
It's like if you burn yourself out and then you put yourself out of commission for like a couple weeks, like, was it worth it? No.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely think it's important to take the time you need, though. I think a lot of people are scared to even take like one day off, just because they need it, or they have a family thing or something's going on, and they just are like, well, I can't, I have to stream every day. There are people that literally have streamed every day for years, like no breaks. And I'm like, I have no idea how you did that, because like some days I just wake up and I'm like, not today.
I mean, I don't know if you guys knew this, so I have stepped down from playing D&D. I used to play that every Friday night, but it was midnight to 4 a.m. Eastern, so that was the time zone that show fit in, and for a while it was great. And I love playing it. I never thought I'd ever play, and I enjoy it, and the cast members were fun. It was hard because you didn't go to bed till 5 a.m, and then I got a 4-year-old daughter that's waking me up at 7 going, Dad, I want to play, and you're like, I need to sleep. And it came up, and you couldn't leave. It was hard to leave for the weekend because you want to go back home and visit friends, and it's like, well, I still got to play D&D, and it just became too much, and I just like, I can't do it anymore. I had to step away. As much as I enjoyed it, and the great thing is the community still shows that love. Like the people I met through there, like
100%,
they're still awesome, and so that's when you know what you did it right. You did the right thing when you feel better about yourself and all that.
Exactly. Like you accomplished something and you had a good experience.
Well, and you tried something new, right? And there's something to be said about that as well. Even just picking up a new game or trying a sport or trying a web show that when you never do anything like that, like there's something to be said about trying something new and seeing how it goes, or even a new schedule, whatever it is. You never really know until you try.
Well, one of my favorite pictures that I saw was literally your first song is terrible, your first painting is terrible, your first podcast is terrible, your first YouTube video is terrible, but it gets better. Just start. There's no way around it. Your first go at something is always going to be brutal. Like it's compared to what it can be and what you're comparing it to, it's never going to be up to snuff. But just try it. You know, you don't know until you try.
Yeah.
But we were gonna play D&D with a friend. We've played a couple times, but it's that weekly / monthly / biannually commitment.
Biannually.
I don't.
Two sessions a year. No, but that's.
I meant bi-weekly.
It's exactly what you said though. It's amongst everything that we have going on, it just doesn't fit in. And it's not that we don't want to, and I keep trying to explain to him it would be tons of fun, but with the podcast that we're doing now and our stream schedule and trying to make sure that we've got our dog now, everything just makes it that much harder, and we have to prioritize because there's only so much time. And the reality is a lot of it goes to stream, which is fine. We still find time for ourselves and we still find time to see friends and family and stuff, but I can't commit to once a month even. With D&D, it's just not going to work. So, I think that they understood that, but it does kind of suck because it would be fun.
I think a compromise that I proposed the one day when we were all together at the cottage weekend, but it never ended up happening, was it'd be kind of cool because we Airbnb'd a cottage for a bunch of our friends, just to hang out for the weekend, right? And I was like, we should just do a one evening ad-lib D&D, and you can be the DM and we'll just go to you for decisions, but we can progress the story individually while just vocally while we're hanging out, and then we can just conclude it. It's not a campaign that's gonna last for
there's
a long time.
There's some really cool board games and card games and stuff that exist.
They'd be longer than usual board game, but...
they're stories and campaigns and stuff that you play I don't
6 hour
a 6-hour thing, and that to me is much we can 100% go for a night and play a really involved game for the evening, which is kind of what I suggested to them. I was like, how about we just do a games night when we're free, because we can definitely do something like that.
The only downside is those games are $300.
They are expensive. I've looked into a bunch of them. They sound super cool. Or a murder mystery. I keep saying we should do a murder mystery night, and Pete hasn't been overly enthusiastic.
No, I'd be down.
Would you be down?
Yeah,
okay.
I'd be down.
We should do that. I think that would be fun.
That'd be hilarious. So what do you got going on other than stream lately?
It's just work, man. Work is that's the hardest thing. It's it takes so much, one, I'm the main breadwinner of my family, so it would take a miracle for me to ever be able to go full time doing what I'm doing, because it's I got to provide for the family and all that stuff. Now if I had a sugar mama or something, that'd be different. My wife's I'm a teacher and I'll make that much. I'm like, all right, I get it. So but it's work has been kicking my butt lately. So actually I haven't streamed since Friday, and normally I stream Sunday and Monday, and I just told my community I need family time and I need time to rest, and so sometimes it's okay to just step back.
100%.
You gotta do it.
You have to do what's right for you.
Yeah, other than that, it's just mainly that, honestly, watching football and just enjoying time with the dog.
It's nice. So we this weekend we impromptu took the weekend off. It wasn't even really It wasn't even really planned.
We were literally, I had stream set up.
Yeah, and we were sitting here and I was like, I am too exhausted to stream today. Like, I literally couldn't focus on anything.
I feel that.
And he was like, yeah, me too. And I was like, well, we're just not going to do it. And, but.
Well, was it last week? Well, because of Shadowkeep coming through, we were just streaming a lot. And even when we weren't streaming, we were playing.
Yeah.
And I was averaging like 5 hours of sleep a night during the week, and it's just caught up hard.
But those weekends where we might take a full weekend off like every other month. I don't know. It's usually not that often.
If anything, one day.
But if we kind of plan it and we're like, you know what, like we're just gonna take this weekend, like it is honestly the nicest thing. And it's not because we want to get away from stream or whatever, but it's so nice to sit on the couch and like binge watch something for like 12 hours because we never do that. Like
never get to do that.
We never get to do that. And I just like sometimes you just need it. Yeah, sit with the dog, take the dog to the dog park. You know, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just to change.
I think most, like, especially your communities are gonna like understand, like they get it. Like
they're great.
They're like, hey, you know, you get those people who are like, I'm sorry I wasn't in stream. I'm like, I get it. Like you have a life. Like
people are here every day.
That's awesome. Yeah, like I get it. Like,
I was going through. I added a currency today for Stream Loots packs that people bought. Yeah. So I went back through all of the ones that people have bought, and I added them all up, and I added them to the bot so that it was retroactive, which is a pain in the butt, but it's done.
That was a tough
I can't just start now, and because like some people, I think it was, I think Trex has bought 110 packs.
Yeah.
Like, I can't knock him.
You can't not include those. You have to.
So
I'm glad you did that, so I didn't have to.
I'm gonna be at the top of the leaderboard. I don't care who it is.
For everything, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I did that, and I was kind of like scrolling through like the users while I was doing that. And the amount of minutes that some people have in the stream is absolutely insane. And I'm just like, you know what? Like, you know, a lot of people lurk. They might not be active in chat all the time, but they're there.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even look at my view count once today. There are a lot of streams where I don't, like, especially lately.
It's good to. It's good not, it's good not to.
Yeah, I just close it. I don't look. I find I'm more consistent that way. And then later I'll look and I'll be like, oh, that was a pretty good stream.
I usually, like, 99% of the time I'm not looking until the end of stream.
The end of stream when we go to hold somebody, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of people that just, they literally live in our streams. They live in your stream, they live in our stream, like, and they live in other people's streams, and it's a main part of their life. And
it was actually today, this is a lot of Joe Rogan. Part of the reason why we started doing the podcast, like kind of a little push I needed, was me listening to a lot of podcasts. But he was talking with another comedian, and they're talking about how with comedy, it's a lot different comparing live to Netflix specials. Because watching a Netflix special, you don't have the energy of the room. You're not there when it's happening, right? That, like, when you get a laugh out of someone, it's way better if you're standing in front of them. You know what I mean? Not, like, record a video and send it to them. And the more I hear about, like, that side of things, the more I realize how in line we are with it. And streaming is very similar to stand-up because it's the main medium is live right in front of you.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking about myself, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I don't get a lot of time to watch streams, and if I do, a lot of the times it's like after we end stream, we host and we had just streamed and want to like go watch Netflix or whatever. We want to wind down, or we're doing something else. We have them up and we're lurking. The past few times that I've actually sat down or laid down, had my phone and watched a stream and engaged with that stream, thinking back on like how that was, I was like, yeah, if we didn't stream, I'd be watching streams.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be doing, man. I'd be there all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it's great.
And there were points when we took extended breaks. There were streams that we lived in that we really connected with them in their communities, and that was the only time that I did that was when we weren't streaming ourselves because reality isn't a lot of time.
There isn't.
I think most people understand that.
Yeah.
So, I know it's been about an hour. I know we could stay here all evening.
Oh yeah, I definitely could.
Yeah. But I know, I know you gotta go raid, and stuff to do too.
If we had our shit together, it would have been a 2-hour podcast because we would have started at 7 instead of 8.
Right.
So,
but
you're just getting better. Everyone, you're gonna get better.
Exactly.
Where can people find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Mixer, mixer.com/ it's NitehawkMX. I'm a noob and did MX for Mixer because NiteHawk was taken. So I was like, all right, whatever. And then you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Discord.
It's NiteHawk with an NITE.
Yeah, NitehawkMX. So yeah, I appreciate you guys inviting me. Like, this is when you guys I'm honored. I'm like super excited, and I appreciate you guys having me on. And
for sure. Absolutely.
We'll have to have you back. Like, we'll keep this podcast thing going as long as people enjoy it. So
yeah, definitely. I'm excited. This is great because I actually drive a lot for my job. So you know, like, this will be nice. Every week I could just subscribe to it and just listen to it while I drive. So this will give me something to listen to.
That's the plan. That's how I started doing it, because at work it was just driving all freaking day. So throw on a podcast to listen to like 3 in a day. But
it's a lot of podcasts.
I don't listen to 3, and that's an exaggeration. I maybe get through 1 a day. Maybe. Depends on how long they are. Some are 3 hours.
That's still a lot of podcasts.
Some are 3 hours, and I'll get
Joe
through
Rogan's get pretty long.
Yeah.
All right, anyways, thank you so much for joining us. It was awesome.
Thank you very much.
And we're gonna have to actually play in game here soon together.
Yeah, definitely. Let me know. Let's raid or play some Crucible.
Yeah.
Sometime,
absolutely.
just send me a DM. I'll make some time. So.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
If you want more of us, you can find everything BXP at babexpete.com, including links to all of our socials, YouTube, merch, and our discount codes for Into the AM clothing and Advanced GG energy drinks.
Our main focus is our live stream at mixer.com/babexpete, where we live stream video games and foster an amazing community. Peace.